Hey everybody, so I thought I would give you the answers for our first optional candy challenge. So I'll post a video about each one, but here's the first one. Let me change my color. We'll do it in a purple today. So using this calendar, it says to answer questions 1 through 5, but that was a typo on my part. It's only questions 1 and 2 because we changed some of them. So when you look at question 1, it says, what day of the week is October 31st? Now, you might want to stress to them, we told them that day is one of the words that ends with day. So you can see that um, when you look across the top on a calendar, remind them that these are the abbreviations for all of the days of the week. And when we look for October 31st, oh no, it's not on the calendar. Remind them that it's actually a November calendar. So then you might want to have the talk about how October comes before November, and October 31st happens to be the last day of October. So when you look at these blank squares, we've told them it's kind of like a puzzle. So the last day of October would be right before the first day of November. So this would be October 31st. So when you look up towards the top, the answer would be it is Wednesday. So I hope this will work. Let's give it a try. And they can do the abbreviations if they'd like, or they can write the word out. Now, what date is 1 week? Well, 1 week and after November 8th. That's another typo. I apologized. So what is the date 1 week after November 8th? Well, for this, I encourage them to find November 8th, which is right here. And we know that weeks typically move up and down. We've told them that you can count 7 days or you can slide up and down for weeks. So when we look for 1 week after, we slide down and it would be November 15th. Now for date, we say just like someone goes on a date, it takes two people. A date would be the month, which would be November, and the number that goes with it would be 15. Now, please put the ordinal number, the TH. I'm sorry, this is horrible. I'm not doing a very good job writing. You want to put the ordinal number, not just the 15, to encourage them to use ordinal numbers, since that is how we talk about the days of the month, since they are in order. Number 3, we have chores, and we have the number of students. It says, according to the chore chart above, which chore did the most students do? Well, when you look at the tallies, once students count them up, they find out that the best answer for this question for the most would be take out the trash. So they could write take out the trash right here. Fill in the box with the correct answer. Use a ruler. Now, if you don't have a ruler handy, we've taught them that sometimes if you bend your pointer finger and look from your knuckle to knuckle, sometimes that's about an inch. So use whatever you can, or they can take a guess. But when you actually measure this out, you get very close to, when you measure this whole line from one side to the other, you get about 3 inches. Which number sentence will 9 plus blank equals 15 help you solve? Now, you do not have to answer all of these problems. It's just trying to help them remember how to connect fact families. So if 9 plus something makes 15, that means 9 and is a small piece of the family. Another small piece is missing, and the biggest number is going to be 15. So they know that these are two of the numbers in the family they can use. Well, I would encourage them looking at these problems to look and say 6 minus 15, that definitely won't work. 9 minus 15 can't work because you can't do it. Then that leaves them with choices A and B. So when we look up here, we only have a 9 and a 15. We don't have a 6. So even though we know the answer will be 6, we can't use the 6 yet, so we don't know that one. So it would also be helpful for us to use it for A, 15 minus 9. Also, but if they did put B, I understand why, but we were trying to use the same numbers that were already given to help them understand it. So if they did B, I could understand that and they would be on the right track. So just so you know that. Number 6, what number is represented by the base 10 blocks to the right? And here's our key. Each little block is worth 1. Well, when you count your hundreds, which are right here, you count your tens, you count your ones, you come up with 3 hundreds, 1 10, and 5 ones. Now, the same numbers are used for each of them down here, but when you look at the placement, the answer is A. Next, circle all, and that's a big part, all. It's not just one answer. There could be more than one answer. There could be only one answer. Circle all of the objects that are smaller than 1 inch and remind them about how long an inch is. A pencil top eraser would definitely be smaller than an inch. The desktop would definitely not be smaller than an inch. A fingernail would be smaller than an inch. A shoe would not be. We're not talking about like a Barbie shoe. We're talking about their shoe. A dry erase marker would not be smaller than an inch, and a blueberry would be smaller than an inch. And finally, Bobby owed, his friend $1.76. Draw a way that he could pay him. You can use a dollar, and they can draw out the coins. If they want to use a quarter, they can use a Q. Oh, excuse me, that is a horrible Q. They can use coins by putting the letter or the value. So they could do 25 cents in there if they wanted to. Um, but whatever they do, make sure it adds up to 76 cents or 176 cents. And I would try to help them figure out how to use the bigger coins first and then gradually go down to pennies. We want to try to get them thinking, how can they make this amount in the smallest way possible? But obviously, they are welcome to do it any way that they can make it. Just check over them. So if I did 25.50, I could do another quarter for 25 cents, and that makes 75. And then I could do my penny for my 1 cent. And if they want to draw hairs on them, remember every hair is worth 5. So a quarter would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. And then pennies are bald because they're only worth 1, and that would be 76.